Right, starting from here, uh, please watch the video for this thing that I've written here. So now you will need to use this data that we've collected here, we've called 5-number summary, to draw box and whisker diagram. So the box and whisker diagram, box and whisker diagram, the box and whisker diagram. Sorry for that. The box and whisker diagram. Now this box and whisker diagram then is just looking as a diagram like this. So this is the one that is also showing the summary of the data. So this box and whisker diagram is just showing the summary of the data, where this will be the minimum, this will be the Q1, this will be Q2, this will be Q3, and this will be the maximum. This will be the maximum. Now this box and whisker divides our data into 100%, showing each percent of each. Now meaning from here, from the minimum to the Q1, this is worth 25% of the data, and from here to here, this will worth another 25% of the data. From Q2 to Q3, this will also be 25% of the data. From Q3 to maximum, this will also 25% of the data. So this box and whisker makes 100% summary of the data, so it kind of includes everything. So that will be our breakup of summary of this data in there, or it can be represented by the box and whisker diagram. Meaning if from here to here is 25, so meaning from the minimum to the quartile Q2, this will give us 50%. Then from Q2 to the maximum is another 50%. So from minimum up until here, Q3, so that will worth 75%. So meaning from the minimum to maximum, that will be 100% covered of the data. So that for us to draw this box and whisker, we must have a scale. We must have a scale to draw the box and whisker diagram. So if you don't have a scale, so we cannot estimate the distribution of the data. So in fact, this is how our data is distributed to in 100%. So everything's covered. Now we're going to use same part here. So this 5-number summary, so is the one that you can use to represent our data. So it can be used this way, then is used to draw the box and whisker. So let's go to the next page and have this information to draw our box and whisker diagram. Right, let's bring down that. So we had our minimum. So we had a minimum of 8. We had a maximum of 83. We had a median Q2 of 23. We had a Q1 of 18, then Q3 is 34,5. Now we must have a scale showing all covering these all numbers here up to 83. So we can have a scale of maybe 10, that can be sufficient. So we're going to have our number line here, and then starting from, of course you can start from 0, then make sure that the spacing between the numbers is equal. So we can have 10 here, then we can have 20, we can have 30, we can have 40, we can have 50 here, we can have 60, we can have 70, 80, 90, maybe up to 100. Right, having the scale, so you can see the numbers between, the difference between this is 10, the difference between this is 10, then there must be 10 throughout, so that is a correct scale. And then also the spacing here, all the way from here to here, must be the same space from here to here, so that now our graph will be, or diagram will be drawn to kind of scale. Right, let's pick out a minimum. So we can estimate a minimum to be here. Our 8 can be here. And then let's pick out the maximum. So we can have 80, 81, 82, 83. We can just put it here. What is our minimum? Our minimum is 8. We can put it here. Then, so this one is covered, this one is covered. So let's check Q2. Q2 is 23. So we can have our 20, 21, 22, 23. We can put it here. And then now we can have this line here as our 23. Right, and then let's have Q1. So this is covered. Q1 is 18. So our 18 can also be estimated to be here. So this will be Q1 is 18. Now let's cover the 34, which is Q3. So it's 34,5. So roughly we can put it here. So we have 34,5. Right. And then now we join Q1 up to Q3. So this will be Q1, Q2, Q3, and then we make the whiskers from the box to the maximum, and then from this to this. So write these numbers here. This is 8, and then let's make this Q1 as 18 here, and then Q2 is 23, and then the last one, which is here, which will be 83. So let's write these numbers because they are not falling along in this the demarcating range of the scale. So let's just put them so that you can see Q1 is 8, minimum is 8, Q1 is 18, and then they continue like that. Now this will be the box and whisker. Now they can ask you about the distribution of the data. Now looking at this, there is a more space, which is the skewness of the data. Skewness of the data. Now if you check the skewness of the data, so we have a bigger space in here. So this big space means our data is more distributed to this side of the median. So if it's this side of the median, so it's to the right of the median. So when you say the skewness of the data here, we'll say this is positively skewed, or we can say skewed to the right, or skewed to the right. So that will be the skewness of the data, or distribution of the data.